in the known universe. I'm here with you. It's 8 a.m. on the West Coast, the best coast. It's 11 a.m. on the least coast. And it was the second school in the University of California system. Berkeley started out as the University of California. They had an agriculture program. They needed a place for the students to learn agriculture stuff. But there's no farmland in Berkeley. So they bought a piece of land or got a land grant 70 miles north, and a little town called Davisville, built a university, school, classrooms, etc. And that became the Cal Farm, the Cal Berkeley Farm. Eventually turned into its own curriculum and degree program and became the University of California, Davis. So UC Davis football team started off Division II non-scholarship. They've over the years moved up into Division or FCS, Division I AA. And last night, the best team that I've seen in my 40 years as a fan played against Montana State, who was ranked number 2 in the nation. Davis was ranked number 4. And the best team that I've seen UC Davis have, and UC Davis put out NFL players, Bo Eason, Ken O'Brien, and they went down early based on a turnover. They were down 30-15 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They stormed back and scored a touchdown with 30 seconds left to make it 28-30. And then an interception on the 2-point conversion try killed them. Anyway, this is my bourbon brunch cocktail. I was going to make you a rum punch, but the milk was bad. All right, so in this glass, I have 3/4 of an ounce of Mr. Black, which is a coffee liqueur. I have 3/4 of an ounce of cold brew concentrate and an 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Boom, that goes in the shaker. We're going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3 dashes of orange bitters. And I have this very, very special bourbon. It is High West Double Rye. It's a limited release barrel pick from my liquor store. And we're going with about 2 ounces of that. So 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of coffee liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of cold brew concentrate. Maybe I should have put it on mute. I apologize if that was too damn loud. But this is breakfast with bigz, right? That's what you expect. You expect loud. You expect stupid. If you can count on me for anything, it's data-driven, unhinged bullshit. All right. Normally at brunch, I drink French 75s, which is gin, champagne, lemon, and syrup, or lemonade. And I have some special French 75 glasses from Empress 908 gin. And that's what I'm going to use. So cheers. And you can do up to 6 picks. So this is receivers. It includes tight ends, wide receivers, and running backs. And your prop is basically up to 6. Who's going to go over 50 yards? So I took Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley, Mike Williams, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, and Nico Collins. So I get that's 136 on a $5 entry if I hit all those. And then I have this is my 8 play parlay. Brock Bowers higher than 5.5 receptions. Justin Tucker 2 field goals made or more. Dave Montgomery anytime touchdown. Travis Etienne over 13.5 rushing attempts. Devon A. Chan over 100 yards rushing and receiving. Mike Williams over 1.5 receptions. Najee Harris under 74.5 rushing and receiving yards, and Chris Boswell over 1.5 field goals. So tail along if you want. Yeah. If you tail me on any of those picks and you win, let me know. So should we talk about Blue Sky? Oh, the questions are chat is fired up, you guys. Corey, who is he's an FFAN partner. Love you, Corey. Fun fact, and not many people know this, but Corey used to work for the Tiger King. Anyway, Corey waits until Sunday morning, and he comes in to this show and spilled coffee, and also Queen's Ransom on Wednesday, and asks us all to set his lineups. So hopefully you make the playoffs, Corey, because then that'll make us look good. But really, I mean, maybe you could have your own take. Anyway, Corey needs a defense. Dolphins, Jets, Saints, or Browns this week. Let's go to the tail of the tape, as they say in boxing. And what I mean by that is the fantasy football database. And currently, Dolphins, Jets, Saints, or Browns. I'm going Dolphins in this one just because of the potential to shut down Zamir White and force 4 Gardner Minshew turnovers. That's my gut reaction, and that's what I do. Like I said, you can count on me for data-driven, unhinged bullshit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my gut and then my data-driven feelings. All right, so then we got the Jets against Indy. I like the Jets defense, but I like Indy in this game to surprise, especially with Jonathan Taylor and the Jets' propensity to funnel the run. And I'm counting on Anthony Richardson to be a little bit smarter than normal. Saints and Browns. I like the Browns defense more than I like the Saints defense. I just feel like right now the Browns are rolling out more healthy weapons. And I think this is a fairly low-scoring game, but I'm a Derek Carr stan till I die. And I have no qualms about thinking he can light it up for 250 yards and a couple touchdowns. So I am sticking with my gut, and I'm going with Dolphins versus Raiders. I don't think there's anybody that knows as well as me that the Raiders suck. All right. Thank you, Corey. If you don't have faith in the Raiders, then I trust your gut. You should. And it's funny because the gut at the beginning of the season was, yeah, this team's going to compete. I scoffed. I scoffed at the 6.5 win over under that Vegas put out there, and now I'm wondering if we get to 5.5. All right, full PPR league. Christian Watson against the Bears or Alexander Mattison against Miami. I would not play Alexander Mattison. Worst case scenario for my take is that Alexander Mattison vultures a touchdown. Christian Watson is a guy that I talked about on the show on Thursday night and tried to get Mike and Chev to convince me to pick him up, and they wouldn't, so I didn't. And then Friday I had a show on Player Profiler with Chev, and he had overnight done a 180 on Christian Watson. I was like, I wish you had told me that last night. Now I'm going to go pick him up. And then I forgot to do it. And then this morning, the waiver the waiver claims went through, or yesterday morning the waiver claims went through, and somebody in that league picked up Bucket for watching over on X. Speaking of which, if you're watching on X, go to YouTube and subscribe Fantasy Football Advice Network, and then hit the bell so you know when all of our content launches. Fantasy Forecast, we have like four or five shows every week. We got the waiver wire show, we got the start and sit show, we got the injury report show with an actual doctor who's not an actual doctor. He's a physical therapist. But Marcus Gailey, our partner from the Undroppables. And then I'm on Wednesdays on Queen's Ransom with Amber. And then we have Points After Thursday, which is live after the Thursday night football game. And you can find all that on FFAN, Fantasy Football Advice Network. And you can go to fantasysportsadvice.com. We are here. And sign up for a pro membership and stuff. Find all our videos and stuff over there, or on the YouTube channel. So go subscribe over there. And thank you, if you are watching on X. And thank you, Dusty Bucket, for your viewership. We appreciate you. Kyle Singer, Romeo Dubs, Nick Chubb, ETN, pick one running back, one flex, full PPR. Okay, here's the thing. I'm rolling with Dubs. Chubb. I'm rolling with Chubb. You got to roll with Chubb. He's Nick Chubb. He's healthy. He's back. All of that good stuff. Now, Tank Bigsby is out. That means ETN gets all of the run, or most of the run, in that Jacksonville backfield. So I have a prop bet out on his number of carries. I think it is. I think I took 13.5 ETN carries. Indeed, 13.5 rushing attempts. And then with Dubs, I like the matchup against Chicago, but the problem, and I alluded to Christian Watson earlier, the problem with Green Bay is that they have Josh Jacobs to control the game, especially against this terrible, terrible Chicago offense. So that if they get out to an early lead, it's going to be ball control. I like Romeo Dubs. I like Christian Watson. I like Jaden Reed. Heck, I just traded for Dontavian Wicks and Tucker Kraft. Mike Greinberg loves him. But the problem is when you have that many weapons, there's not a lot of guys that you can count on week by week, especially when they're all in the similar tier. And so my picks for this one are Chubb and ETN. Although I will say I tend to not put running backs in my flex spot and go with wide receivers. So do with that what you will. But I'm going with Chubb and ETN. All right. Thank you for your question, Kyle Singer. Greinberg, if Doug Peterson's job is indeed on the line, this is the funny thing with Canadians. They mix up words all the time. I think he means on the line. If Doug Peterson's job is indeed in the line, how bad do the Jags play today? I don't like the syntax of your question, sir. It's kind of like if hippopotami are gray, then will you sweat when it's 100 degrees outside? They're gonna get beat. They're playing Detroit, and it has nothing to do with whether or not Doug Peterson's job is on the line. His job is on the line. He may not get fired tomorrow, but they're gonna lose. Need to drop one. Pittman, Tillman, or Cooper? Corey, you're breaking my heart. Wow. Is it you can't trade him before the games are over tomorrow night? I'm keeping Tillman, that's for sure. Pittman is still wide receiver one, but he's been terrible. And Coop, I think you got to go Pittman. But I mean, That's a question for you and your football gods. That's not for a live stream, buddy. All right. Angie Hatfield checking in from the best coast. Cheers, girl. Deep League, half PPR. Juju, Mike Williams, or Deontay. Just need one. Mike Williams. I understand, Angie, if you've been too busy to have watched our start and sit show yesterday. But I gave Mike Williams as a start, and Deontay. The Ravens talked about his usage and said that they're trying to work him in, but they're not. They decided not to take away from Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar, who had been there and putting in the work. So they like Deontay Johnson. Obviously, they went and traded for him, and even though he's on a contract here, they gave up a draft pick for him. He very well could sign somewhere else. So he's a stretch run insurance piece, but they're rolling with they're rolling with the girl they brung to the dance. And then Juju, zero faith. I don't even know what team he's on right now. I want to say the Chiefs, but I know he's not on the Saints because that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and I get those two guys mixed up in my brain. I read a great quote yesterday, and it was neurodivergence is referring to your brain as something that's apart from yourself, and I do that all the time. And I was like, hey, I'm neurodivergent. All right. Now we got a break in the action, so I'm just going to kick back. I encourage all of you to. While you're typing your next questions and enjoy some of this cocktail that we made together that you didn't know you were going to make right now that you didn't make. Yeah, I love it. You get a little bit of the coffee, you pick up the orange bitters, the vanilla, the 1/8 teaspoon, I didn't measure. I just poured in a little of the vanilla extract. It really rounds everything out. It's very nice. And this rye is phenomenal. Barrel 25181 comes in at a stout 49.8%. It's bottle number 140 out of that barrel. And 6-month finish in Spanish brandy. I want to say that High West sources their juice from MGP. If you know, you know, right? MGP is a storehouse of whiskey in Indiana, and a lot of new spirits companies will source their juice from this warehouse. Apparently 12 years ago, High West. Okay, so essentially, it's this: you want to start a whiskey company. You get some. You have great marketing. You get some influx of capital. You got somebody who wants to invest, and you need something to sell to put in a bottle. But it takes 4 to 12 years to put something on the shelf after you get it distilled and in a barrel. So what do? You go to MGP, you pick out some barrels of theirs that you like, send a rep, they do some tastings, you grab that stuff, maybe you mix a couple, maybe you buy some stuff from them and then pour that into some barrels so that you have something in 2 years, 6 months 4 years, whatever. Then you start distilling on your own and barreling. So you sell this MGP stuff for 4 to 12 years, and then the stuff that you actually make starts to hit the market. And that's how High West started. So that's why my guess is this was MGP, because all they needed to do was buy the MGP juice and stick it in a Spanish brandy barrel for 6 months, and then they can bottle it as this stuff. But the thing about MGP is that all the stuff is good. So it's basically what the different the different companies want to do with the juice they buy. And I have a if you want to go, so if you go to the MGP website, there's they do Rebel, they do Yellowstone, they do Ezra Brooks, and then you can find lists on Reddit that Pinhook, Redemption, Some Heaven's Door. Those are some bourbons that are made with MGP juice. There's a bunch. So you can go to Reddit or just Google MGP list, and it'll tell you all of the companies that that source their juice from MGP and then put their own label on it. Hopefully they're doing something extra with it instead of just like claiming, you know what I mean? Like this one, finishing it in Spanish brandy barrels, finishing it in say like an Oloroso cask, finishing it in like French wine casks, things like that. Hopefully they're doing something extra to it rather than just like, but there are companies that will just go buy MGP juice, put it in a bottle, slap their name on it, unadulterated, and throw it out there. All right, Jorge. What's up, Jorge? I was waiting for you. Need one wide receiver, one flex. I have Pittman, Addison, Waddle, Charbonnet, on waivers, Gabe Davis, Mike Williams, Demarcus Robinson. I don't like Waddle against the Raiders defensive backs. Charbonnet is emergency in case of emergency, break glass. I'm saying grab Williams and Demarcus off of waivers. If that means dropping one of those other two guys, I think. Well, I put myself out there and said to Corey to drop Pittman, so I think you have to do that. And then I drop Addison. I drop Waddle over Addison. Always hold on to handcuff running backs, even if they're not doing anything, just in case. Oh no, and don't worry about Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis might have a spike week in best ball, but yeah, wide receiver one flex. I like Mike Williams this week, and a lot of people are really high on Demarcus Robinson. It's so sketchy because Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are back, but somehow Demarcus is like getting targets. So maybe, and Darnold's supposed to have a bad week. So your first three are hard, and Charbonnet is a backup. I go grab Mike Williams. The Demarcus one is tough. I think I go with Pittman and Mike Williams. All right, that's going to be it from me, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Follow me at BigBonedFFB on Twitter. And I'm at BigBoned on Blue Sky, which is the new Blue Sky is how I bop. Blue Sky is the new thing. But here, this is a cool one. Download this QR code. and it'll take you to all of my links. It's at .dot period cards / big boned FFB, or you can just download the QR code, find all of my stuff. Stay tuned for Spilled Coffee. Love you guys, and I hope you win. I hope I win too, but I hope